يا تاج راسي يا أبويا وكل ناسي، بوصفك أنا بكلمة أنت رايح.
يا تاج راسي يا
دربي يا الغلا يحفظك ربي، أنت رحمة ودونك أنا أعيش ضايع.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to SAIS. And also, I would like to welcome, I'm not sure if they logged in already now or not, but we have brothers and sisters from Canada, from America, from Pakistan, from Libya, and from Saudi as well. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you all for joining us here in the UK and sharing with us some of this knowledge, inshallah. That's the first thing. And the secondly, I would like also to remind all brothers and sisters who are joining us. I might saying this a little bit earlier. There are not many brothers and sisters. There's someone that join later, but I'm saying for those brothers and sisters who are interested to join our future classes, we have a number of classes or let's say talks and courses will be coming soon, inshallah. If we don't have your phone number, if we don't have your email address, your name, so we may not be able to contact you. So if you'd like us to keep you updated with all of this, you can write in the chat box privately to our admin, the SAIS host, and write your name, your email address, and your phone number, so we can keep you updated. I'll be now informing you with some of the classes, inshallah. Thirdly, I would like to say special, express some special appreciation and saying Jazakallah khair and thank you for those brothers and sisters who insisted and really, as everyone knows, the course is free of charge, but we have a number of sisters and brothers, they wanted to contribute and they did contribute to this course. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward everyone. They deserve, from me to say Jazakallah khair and thank you and making dua for you as well. Although you don't have to do that, the course was completely free for everyone. The fourth point, if you have any questions, as the admin wrote that already in there, if you have any questions, so please write them in the chat box. If it was something privately, then you send it privately. If it's something like open, you can send it by, everyone can see that. If there is time, inshallah, I'll be covering that today. If there is no time, then on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, inshallah, this Tuesday, I'll be having a session Q&A on Tuesday, which is organized by an aid, inshallah, so I can cover it in there if you like to attend there. The last point I would like to say it here, and those, or this time giving chance to the others to join us as well, is this particular reflections and the course, it is not a course for trying to find an opening in particular problems. So if there is an issue for A, B person, these issues and comes to do with the families that all the time needs sitting, needs like listening and having information from the person, and then we can make a solution for that. Okay, so that's all my introduction. I'm not sure how how many people had this, but inshallah I'll repeat that later on, inshallah ta'ala. The introduction for this session, as you've noticed from the first one, second one, I use an ayah or hadith to lead us into the topic. And finally, I missed one point to mention it. As I did before, said before, this is a start of a series to do with the families, inshallah ta'ala. So we start about really the real body of the family, brothers and sister and father, mother. Inshallah will be followed by talking about the parenting, so mother and father, how they should look after their children. And also will be a course for those who are the marriage course, so really to do with anyone who's married, whether you are you are a new married person, or whether you are been for 20 or more, 30, 40 years of marriage. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep everyone happily with their partners, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you safe all the time. In this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from Surah Al-Ahzab, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm sure that the ayah is famous, everyone knows the ayah, and I'm sure also, without any doubt in my mind, that everyone is understanding the ayah in a different way, in the way that is famous. So, which is, Allah said, إِنَّا عَرَضْنَا الْأَمَانَةَ عَلَى السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَالْجِبَالِ فَأَبَيْنَ أَن يَحْمِلْنَهَا وَأَشْفَقْنَ مِنْهَا وَحَمَلَهَا الْإِنسَانُ إِنَّهُ كَانَ ظَلُومًا جَهُولًا. Indeed, we have offered, we have gave the amana, the trust, and we offered that to the as-samawat, the heavens. We offered it to al-ard, the earth, and whenever there's a samawat, will be al-aradin as well. As-samawat plural, then also al-aradin. More than one earth, 7. Wal-jibal, the mountains, all of them, a great creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is there greater than these three creatures that you see them on earth when you walk outside? I don't think that you're going to see greater than a samawat. I don't think that you're going to see greater than al-ard. I don't think that you see huge, bigger than the mountains and all of this earth. All of them, abayna ay yahmilna, they denied, they rejected, they refused to take the responsibility of this amana, ay yahmilnaha, to carry it, to take the responsibility. Wa ashfaqna minha, and they feared because they know it's not easy. Minha wa hamalaha al-insan. At the end, who took this amana is al-insan. Now, al-insan is being described by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, innahu kana dhaluman jahula. But before we go into that, my dear brothers and sisters, do you know what is al-amana in here? I'm sure in your mind you're talking about the amana, the trust, which is the symbol meaning of al-amana, trust. And some of you maybe will go into the famous opinion of the tafsir. Al-amana means the Islam. Inna aradna al-Islam, the deen, the religion, upon as-samawat, al-ard, wal-jibal, all abayna, all rejected that. And who took it is al-insan. However, I'm going to take you to one of the opinions mentioned by Ibn Abbas and Ibn Mas'ud. Ibn Abbas, Abdullah ibn Abbas, and Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Abu Abdul Rahman. And the narration was mentioned by Ibn Jarir in his tafsir. He said, one day after Adam was sent to earth and with his children on the earth already, with his wife and his children on earth already living in there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Adam, Ya Adam, O Adam, do you know that I have a house on the earth? He said, La ya Rabbi, I don't know. Where is it? He said, Li baytun fi Makkah. I have a house in Makkah. So go and look at it and start to worship me in that house. So Adam heard the order for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and wanted to go there. Now Adam has a responsibility. And what is the responsibility of Adam? He had a family. He had children, he had cattle, he had a wife, daughters, family. It was a family there, big family. So Adam, he spoke to as-samawat. And that's what it was in the narration. He spoke to as-samawat. Would you take the responsibility of looking after my family? As-samawat said, no, I can't take that responsibility. That is heavy. I can't do it. I fear to fulfill this responsibility. He spoke to al-ard. He said, would you take this responsibility while I go to Mecca and come back? I need to do a duty that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told me to do. As al-ard said, the same answer said by samawat. I can't do that. It's heavy. They rejected that, and the ard rejected that and feared to to take this responsibility, and it's really scary. I can't do it. And the same thing, it happened from al-insan, al-jibal. He asked al-jibal, the mountains, would you take this responsibility? Al-jibal said the same answer as as-samawat. Finally, Adam has the only solution for him, his older son. Whose older son? Qabil. Qabil said, oh dad, don't worry, I will take this responsibility. I will look after it in the same way that you looked after it. I will do the same duty as you did the duty before. And don't worry about that. Adam gave the responsibility of the family. So al-amana here is a family. Al-amana here, my dear brothers and sisters, is a family. However, as all you know, Qabil, as we talked about it in the brothers section last week, the first week, the Qabil did not fulfill the amana. Qabil, out of his greed, out of his, he went and he killed his brother Habil, and the family split, and the first sin was established on the earth, and everything was corrupted at that time. Adam came and found all that, as you know the story. So the point is here, al-amana is a family. I'm not saying to you, my dear brothers and sisters, it is the only meaning of al-amana, and this ayah is a family. This is one of the meanings, and we have the narration of Ibn Abbas and Ibn Mas'ud, as I mentioned to you, was narrated by Ibn Jarir and others, showing this meaning that I mentioned to you. And this indicates to me and to you, we will learn from that the importance of family. And a family is not wife. As we said many times, family is father, family is mother, family is grandfather, family is grandmother, family is a brother, family is a half brother, family is a sister, half sister. All of them are included in here. Okay, so this is my introduction. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable me and you to look after our families in the same way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted us to do it. Okay, so the meaning, we explained that earlier. Now I'll go with some realities related to the father, and I'm sure that you're going to agree with me on these realities. There are many realities, but these are what stands out for me. What are the realities? First one, my dear brothers and sisters, is the father, he may Allah have mercy upon my father, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy upon your fathers, my dear brothers and sisters, who is their father passed away. And for those who their father is still alive, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep them healthy and fit, and bless them, and have mercy and forgiveness, inshallah, upon them. He may show strictness, but it is out of love. Now, the family is father and mother, as you know, and in there it has to be a balance in there. And that balance, for those who are married, they know that if someone is strict, the other one has to be soft. And normally, naturally, it happens usually that the mother is soft and the father has to take the lead and be a little bit strict. My dear brothers and sisters, strictness here, it does not mean that I hate you. Strictness here, it does not mean here that I hate you. Strictness here, it does not mean that there is no love. No. Strictness here, being just firm. There are phrases that has to be used in the family, and our parents are used it with us. And one of these words, the word no. You need to show to your child the word no. It is wrong to say, I don't say no to my children. That is wrong. I disagree with everyone says that I will never say no to my child. No, you need to teach them no. Life has good and bad. One day they will get out of your circle, and they will see things there in life when it says to them no, and there will be hardship, will be difficulty, and then they will be struggling. So they need to use, and they need to be familiar with the word no. They need to be familiar with the word stay here. They need to be familiar with don't go there. They need to be familiar with don't do that. These words has to be there, and these words my dear brothers and sisters, all comes out of love. It doesn't come from our parents, from a father, out of hate or out of, like, means that I don't love you. It doesn't mean that. It's all for the benefit of the child, and it is very important that we will have that. We have that. So this is one of the very important realities that we should be aware of it. Second reality, the father dedicated all of his life for his children. And you see, the father, since before making even the children, when he uh, is married, and you think about yourself, brothers and sisters who are already new married people, you will find that you're working so hard collecting money and making money, all of that for the sake of the children. I've seen people, they work day and night, they work over time, they finish work. I know that from my students. They finish work late in the day. They finish work late, very late. All of this, not because they need money, because they are short of money. They have already the money, but all of that for the sake of the children. So saving money, and later on, all of this money will go back into their children. You will find even more than that, my dear brothers and sisters. You will find the father will go into haram, committing haram for the sake of the children. All of that for the sake of my beloved children. And imagine you drive your father to commit haram for your sake. They be thinking of you all the time. That is a reality. We need to think about it. We need to know it. I know now for our old parents, it's too late, but you have too late, to stop them from doing haram. What is it we're referring to? But it's never too late. There are a lot of things we will learn today, inshallah. So this is a reality. We need to remember it. We need to remember that our parents, they melted their health, they melted their body, they melted their youth, they melted their age and their life for the sake of the children. I know families, they don't go for holidays, they don't go on holidays, never holidays. Father, mother, they don't go out. Why? For the sake of the children. Everything for the sake of the children. And that is a reality. We need to remember that. We need to think of this. Okay, let me move now into the real course. Now, so everyone, welcome, my dear brothers and sisters. Everyone now, they join us late. As I said earlier, when I started was 38 students, but now, mashallah, over 100. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward all of you, dear brothers and sisters, and especially those, everyone, all sisters, all brothers, and being and sitting in front of a computer or phone and watching, or TV, watching this. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you all. And just a special welcome as well for those brothers and sisters who are from abroad, from America, from Canada and Saudi, Pakistan, and Libya. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you all for being with us as well today. So our third session, and it is the 16th of Ramadan. We start counting down now. So we look into how many days left. We don't look into how many days we did from Ramadan. May Allah accept. And it is about my father, my light. My father is my light. Can you live? Can you live without the light? Can you live in the old days how the old people used to live? Can now I talk to you without lights? We can't see my face. If I switch the lights off now, you can't see me. We can't live without lights. If people who are coming from countries where they cut the lights off, they know how difficult is it. But this light of the Father is a light, a physical light, really, and an emotional light, an inspirational light, a light from inside and outside, and my guide. My Father is my guide as well. We're going to see that, inshallah. So our objectives, as we do normally with every week, reflections upon some stories. All my stories are from the Quran. All my stories are from the Sunnah. I today decided not to show you any stories to do from a Salaf, from the Tabi'een, or from the Sahaba, unless if it was an attributed hadith of Rasulullah from a Sahabi. I will use that inshallah in our explanation. All the stories are from the Quran that you recite, my dear brothers and sisters. All the stories from the Sunnah, from the hadith that you hear and you know about them. We're going to come to conclusion inshallah at the end, and some lessons that we try to we hopefully that we learn from this lesson, from this lecture, and then inshallah we implement in our life. So our reflection, first reflection is, what goes, my dear brothers, what goes and sisters, what goes around comes around. That's what you say in your language in English, isn't it? What goes around comes around. We say in Arabic or in Islam, kama tudinu tudan. Kama tudin tudan. Whatever you do in your life, whatever you perform in your life, to the others, towards the others, you're going to find the others later on, they're going to do it to you. We have that in our Sharia as well. In this story, in this hadith, I'm going to share with you a statement said by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, narrated by, in one narration by Ibn Umar, and the other narration by Umar ibn Khattab himself, was narrated by Imam al-Hakim. In his Sahih said, birru aba'akum tabirrukum abna'akum. So make bir of your fathers, your birru aba'akum tabirrukum abna'akum. We, all the time, we want our children to listen to us. And one of the things that we face all the time, we're saying our children are not listening to us. Our daughters are going out of our control. Our sons goes out of control. And really, one of the things that you need to look at it is look into what you did yourself, my dear brothers and sisters, what you did with your mom and your dad. Now, let's talk, folks, about the dad. By the way, most of these narration we can share today are related to the mothers as well. But we're going to leave the mother specifically for next week, inshallah. We have specific narrations about her. We will talk about her, inshallah, next week. So, birru aba'akum. The best act of righteousness is to be good towards your father. If you do that, you will get the return later on from your children. One day, Al-Asma'i, one of the famous narrators of the Arab, he said, I met an Arabi, I met a Bedouin. The Bedouin said, I wanted to know the most harsh and the most worst son, how he dealt with his father, how that the relation, how he keeps the uquq, the breaking and not looking after the ties of the father. So he said, I found in my journey, I found a man, a youth, and holding a rope, and the end of this rope, it goes into the neck of an old man. That old man is carrying some luggage, some stuff, and he is whipping him. He's also lashing him and hitting him with the stick that he's holding. I went, and when I saw that, straight away without thinking, I went straight to this person. I said to him, he said to him, oh man, oh person, ya rajul, ماذا تفعل? What is this? What are you doing? And he said, إليك عني, leave me alone, go away. And he said, I could not leave him. I could not just stop, because what he did is really a dhulm. That is a dhulm, and something I can't really accept it. And I hold him, I stopped him. I said, you are not going to go anywhere. What you're doing, stop what you're doing. That a person is a human at the end, whether he's a slave or not slave, and adding to that, he's an old person. He said, إِلَيْكَ عَنِّي, move away from me, leave me alone. And he said to him, let me tell you, this person that you see what I'm doing to him, he did that to his father before. And his father told him that he did that to his father as well, means the grandfather. He said, I'm doing that to him as well. So what I'm doing to him, because he did that to his father before. And kama tudinu tudan. You want bir, make bir. You want hub, then you give hub. You have to do that. You have to do it. If you don't do that, how do you want one day in the future? Now, how many of you, my dear brothers and sisters, you paying thousands and thousands of pounds paying for the schools of your children? Why? Because you want good education for your children. You're making all the effort. You want your child to be good. The same thing that your dad did it sometimes ago. You're trying to have the best birr from your children. I will tell you, you might not get it. Might Allah, He might test you in a bad way. He might test you with the wrong of that. Why? It depends what you did with your parents. So go and revise what you did to your parents. If they're still alive, it's still early to fix it. If they're not alive, you still have a lot of things to do for them. We're going to learn that. So really, you need to look into what you did, my dear brothers and sisters, and from there you see. Birru aba'akum. That's what Rasulullah said. Now, birru aba'akum, look after your parents, have all the actions of the righteousness towards them. And this now reminds me to say to you something, my dear brothers and sisters. The word bir and the word ihsan, we will be using them today. And al-bir and al-ihsan, two words, I will tell you, go to any dictionary, an English dictionary, the best Oxford dictionary, Cambridge dictionaries, you're not going to find the best word in there. Whatever they say in there will not fit the meaning. Al-bir consists all the goodness, whether it is a statement, saying verbally, whether it was action to do physically with your body, or to do with an action of the heart, and smiles, feeling, everything is included in al-bir. What your father needed from you is bir. What is al-bir? Is anything good you think about it, your father is the first one needs that from you. Okay, we're going to carry on, inshallah. And remember the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. كلكم راع وكلكم مسؤول عن رعيته. You are a ra'i, you are a shepherd, and you have to look after your family. Your father did the best at the time. You need to do the best in here. And part of your family is your father. The same way how you look after your children, you need to look after your parents as well. The second reflection, my dear brothers and sisters, nothing less than the excellence. The result and the action from you, my dear brothers and sisters, do not think that you're going to achieve, you're going to achieve in this life towards your dad less than the excellence. Your parents, your father wants the top. And don't say to me, I'm doing the best. I heard that from some people. I'm doing what I can do. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So you do something. Don't think that is enough. Don't think that what you did before and what you're doing now and what you're going to go do later, it's enough. And that will be equal to what your dad did to you before. It's not going to be equal. Now I'm going to share with you what the saying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, and that's a statement. I'm not going to use the full ayah from Surah Al-Isra, because the rest of the ayah I'm going to be using it inshallah next week when we talk about the mother. Allah said in Surah Al-Isra, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ. It means your Lord made a judgment. Your Lord make a rule upon you, my dear brother, sister. A rule, a hukum, a ruling upon us in Islam. وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّهُ. There is no ibadah in the Islam, in this deen that you believe in. There is no ibadah that was connected with the tawheed like birr al-walidain. By looking after your father, looking after your mother. Go and search. Go and see, read the whole Quran, read the whole Sunnah, a hadith of Rasulullah. You are not going to find a ibadah was mentioned after Tawheed except birrul walidain. Or the opposite, when Allah talks about the deadly sins, you will find shirk, which is opposite of Tawheed. You will find the word uquq al-walidain. Wa bil walidain ihsana. What is al-ihsan? Excellence. So not less than the excellence. Don't go with, oh, I'm smiling at them, I'm calling them in the morning, I'm taking to them this, I'm doing that. That is not enough. Whatever you do, you need to put in this aql here, you see it, this aql you need to put in there. This is not enough. whatever you do is not enough, because that's what the Sharia said to you. Whatever you do is not enough. The reason for that, so you continue and continue and continue and continue doing the best, doing all what you can do. Verbally, your words, say the best, all the best, all the honey, the beautiful, the sweet words, say them. Do the best, everything, whenever you act in front of them, do all what you can do. And this is what you need to do. One day, I'll tell you a story. One day, Abu Huraira was walking, and that is in Medina. He saw a person walking, a young lad like me and you, walking, and behind him, in about 2 meters behind him, an old man walking. In one direction is an old lady, an old man walking behind him. And Abu Huraira, with his clever aql, he thought about it. I think they have a relation. He stopped the young lad. He said to him, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Who is this person in terms of the relation? What is the relation between you and this one? He said, oh, this is my dad. He said to him, أَهَكَذَا تَفْعَلْ? Is like that you do? You walking in front of your dad? Is this the tarbiyah? Is this the birr? Is this how you deal with your dad? This is an action. You go in front of your dad behind you, like we say in Arabic, like a sheep, yeah? Behind you. You should be behind your dad. Or he walking slowly, because walk slowly. That is how the birr. This is the life. This is the birr of al-walidain. This is al-ihsan. Whatever you do, you believe all the time it's not enough. I'm going to do more. I'm going to do more. I'm going to do more. So the best, the excellence, what you need to do, you need to do the best. The explanation of the excellence we'll mention in the rest of the ayah, inshallah. We will be covering, inshallah, next week.
يا تاج راسي يا أبويا وكل ناسي بوصفك أنا بكلمة أنت رايح
يا تاج راسي